Hello, how exciting. People to talk to, kind of. Not to talk back at me, but I just had it. I've been doing so much Zoom stuff recently, not just shows, but... and I just had a panic and I haven't got my earpods in, but then I don't need them for this, do I? So hello, welcome to Real Magic Review. Let's press a button. Right, good evening. I hope you're well. Good evening, I was going to say, but for many of you, it's not the evening. I hope everyone's good, holding in there. It's great to do this. I've been at home all week, and I've had a plumbing disaster this morning, so I'm very happy to be sitting here with my big comfy chair. I've got to be careful not to shout because I've got vocal problems at the moment. A long-term thing. If you're a street performer, be very careful, because I've absolutely knackered my vocal cords street performing. But any questions on that, go for your life. Before we carry on, I'm going to remember this time, please can you like, please can you subscribe. If you haven't done it yet, you really should. It's only a little press of a button, click of a mouse, or whatever you want to do, and or whatever you've got, and you've subscribed to my channel, which makes me feel happy because I can see how many subscribers I've got, and it massages my ego a little bit. Well, it does. It's not about that. It's just about kind of being seen and all that kind of stuff on YouTube. So like, subscribe, comment, do all that good stuff. And remember, there are comments after this goes live, because if it's a live one, there'll be the feed that is shown, and then there are the comments you can put later, and I read every single one of them. The reason I'm doing this show is because I'm finding it hard to give the comments the answers they deserve, because the comments are great, you know, and it's not... I want to, thanks is fine, but I just want to kind of be able to answer them properly, and I thought it'd be a nice idea to do this. So these comments on comment shows are lovely fun. I respect all of your comments, and I will try and get through as many as I can. And this is an interesting one because we're talking about All or Nothing, which John Allen has released and not told us what the trick is. And there's a really, as he of course was expecting, there's mixed responses. A lot of people are going for it, which is the important thing. It's not like everybody's going, oh, that's ridiculous. But it's a great thing to talk about. So he did say he might pop in. If he can, great, but, you know, he's a busy man, so there's a good chance he might not be. But if you've got any questions for him, that could be good. We have got a while. I've started a bit early. This is going to be at 5 o'clock every week now, every Thursday. I can make it unless something happens. But, oh, yeah, I nearly forgot. I said the like and subscribe thing, and then I forgot. Cardmagiccourse.com. You've got to see that. You've got to go and see that, because without that, this doesn't happen. So cardmagiccourse.com is my online card magic course. A beautiful, wonderful community of people, a very safe place to try stuff out. In our live sessions tonight, we've got someone trying out a work in progress that they're working on, playing a video, and we all give critique, feedback on it. Nobody criticised everybody badly. No horrible people. It's all lovely. Not there's many horrible people in the world anyway. I think most of us are all right, aren't we? But cardmagiccourse.com, I'm so proud of it. Go and check it out. Just have a look at the page. It's $9.99 a month at the moment. That's the price of 4 coffees. Nobody can go out and buy coffees at the moment, or not many of us. So you might as well go and do that, and that keeps the thing running. And don't just do it for that, to keep the thing running. Do it to support your learning. Learn from a pro, as I say. So just looking at, the reason I'm looking off is because I'm looking at the comments. I'm not distracted by everything else. I'm only distracted by your good selves. At the end, I'll be doing the draw from Steve's pocket, because I realised I left my hat at home. So I've got to draw. I've got all the draw for the V5s. I don't know where they are. God, it's gone wrong. The Phil Smith DMC have given us some Elites V5, 2 sets to give away. I wanted to keep one of them, but I didn't. So I kept one for myself, give 2 away. Tom Rolfe won last time. He lives in Canada, so that cost me about £8 to send them to him. I hope they get to you all right, Tom. And I will read out your suggestions, by the way. I've done these giveaways, and I've said about suggestions and people suggesting things. I'm not just dismissing them. I'm going to look at them. And so I loved the one last time, people's favourite tricks. That was great. I didn't disagree with any of them. Not that would matter anyway, but right, so I'm going to get on with the comments in a minute from John's thing. I'm just going to check. Minus 38 in Winnipeg. Amazing, Rob. Dane, good to see you. Andy, hi. Anti-Christmas. Hello, mate. How are you? Manish, nice to see you, mate. Hope you're good. Stuart, good evening. Hey, Tom, how are you? Tom, I'd be happier if I could open the safe, of course. Gary Lambert, good. Mr. Harmon, Stefan, definitely check out Card Magic course. It's really good. And all wonderful people. Brilliant. Thanks a lot. Yeah, every time I do one of these, if you could comment, if you're on the course with a brilliant testimonial, I could read it out. Magic Man, how you doing? Best 99 I spent. Brilliant. There you go. How did you get entered into that draw? I love DMC decks. I've run out now, but I am going to... Well, we'll do more giveaways. I haven't got one today, but I'm going to do quite a lot. So there'll be giveaways on most of these Thursday sessions. These long, rambly... grossly unprofessional Thursday sessions. Easy for me to say. So here we go. Here are some of the comments on the Hey Steve, how you doing, mate? On John Allen's All or Nothing. Okay, I've nearly read my own one out then. I'll do that. We'll get this, Steve, some lovely ones. Best part of any magic trick is not knowing how it's done. Absolutely, Gary. J Metal. Right. I would at least need to know the effect to the spectator's eyes before even considering it. I trust your enthusiasm, but I'm not in the habit of blindly spending money without any idea of what I'm purchasing. And he's laughing, so he isn't being sniffy about it. Even if David Copperfield called me up and said, I'm David Copperfield, send me $20, trust me, I'd still be like, you've got to give me more than that, David. Lol, love. Right, first thing is, if David Copperfield said, give me 50 quid, trust me, I'd give him 50 quid. I'd go for it. I'd probably give him I haven't got a grand, I was going to say grand. But I think I'd be maybe disappointed. But if you can't trust David Copperfield, who can you trust? But I know what you mean. That's right. So this is, and I totally understand this, and John understands this, and everybody understands this. It's a risk, and a lot of people aren't going to want to buy it. I quite like going to see a film that I know nothing about and paying the money to see. And if you go to cinemas, it's not, I mean, this is 15 quid. By the time I've gone to the cinema, I've got my drink and everything, it's 15 quid, it's 13 quid, whatever. I love going and not knowing anything about the film. Now, I'm a big film buff, so it's quite hard to do that. But there are a few come out and I just go, I'm just going to take a punt and go for it. I haven't read anything about it. Some people are like that, some people are not. There is no right or wrong with it. I quite like the excitement to do it. I'll give it a punt. I won't do it like, you know, some people on the second-hand magic websites go, right, mystery bag, send me 50 quid, I'll send you some stuff. And I kind of go, I'm not doing that. Not because I don't trust you, because I might have half of it. I probably have now, I'm reviewing stuff, but do you know what I mean? So I'm not going to do that. So I am on this continuum of trust. But no, I think it's like a film director, isn't it? If you like a film director, I'll go and see the film and I'll give it a go. Even if it's a flawed film director, you know what I mean? Even if it's like Quentin Tarantino, I went to see Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I hadn't read much about it purposely. I kept away from it, went to see it. I like half of his films and I loved it. If I hadn't liked it, I'd have gone, yeah, fair enough. I think that's the thing with this. For me, I'm not saying you should think this way. It's like people trust John's stuff or they're not into John's stuff, and that's fine. If you're into John's stuff, he's probably... And when he says his reputation is at stake, it is, isn't it? If he, like some people say, he's been burnt too many times. If he was going to make people feel like they've been burnt, it would damage his reputation. And he is someone that requires that reputation. He needs his reputation to be able to sell his stuff and put his stuff out there. And it's very good stuff up to now. So for me, I look at that and go, well, I'd be surprised if this wasn't any good, because it'd be a shame. And you know. And most people seem to like it. So you're not really buying it blind. I know what you mean, you are, but you don't take my word for it, but if you see the people that you expect, you're given an inkling on that. But it's a great comment, thank you. Again, nice review, but I don't buy magic without seeing it first. It's from the Magic Corner. I've been disappointed too many times, and we all have been, haven't we? You know what I mean? You need something. It's like, you're not going in cold here, I don't think. It's got it before you review. Thanks, Steve. I've seen John's trailer. It's from Magic News, James. And the kudos is given by others. Yeah, and that's another thing, isn't it? But I have had that before. You know, I have had it when loads of people think something's brilliant and I've got caught up in it and I've gone, really? I don't... There's a couple of films I've seen that everybody across the board loves and I just don't. I'm not saying who they are because you hate me for it, but no, I would really. One question, does this involve... Tony. One question, and if you're just coming in here now, this is All or Nothing, John Allen. One question, does this involve playing cards? Also, if it can't be shown because we might figure it out, would not the spectator be able to figure it out from the performance? This is a really good question. The reason we'd be able to figure it out is because we've got an idea of how magic works. And I've talked about this before. It's easy to forget, and I forget, how little people know about magic. Yes, there's stuff on YouTube giving stuff away, but actually most people don't watch it. And most people are really, even when I say, like I say to lay people sometimes, they go, oh, we've heard you got a YouTube channel, what do you do? And I say, well, it's for magicians, I review magic products. And they say, what do you mean magic products? There's a lot of people don't even know what a magic, they don't even know that there's all these books, these tricks, what they're like, people buy tricks. So they, you know, the odd person that comes across a magic shop in different parts of the world may be a bit more savvy with it, but people are really not in this world and it's easy to forget. So with that, they often don't know the concepts that we know. And with this routine, I think you are buying the routine and the concept and the fun of it. But it does get people, you know, there are ways of performing it that really are. It's not a kind of magician fool, or as John said, it's not going to be. But we know these concepts, and you know, the first couple of magic books we read, we start understanding that you can do things a certain way. So I think I thought that first of all, and then when I thought, I went, no, it's the magician in me. It's really hard. It's like once you see something, you can't unsee it. Once you think like a magician, you can't unthink like a magician. And I think it's a hard thing to do. But in answer to your question, no, I don't think so. And it's such a nice thing as well that I think they get caught up in they're focusing on the presentation, and because of the presentation is so strong, it will take their mind off of, they won't be thinking how, well, maybe some people will, but Magic Man, it's a risky approach to sell someone without telling magicians exactly what they're buying. Unfortunately, I doubt many people get it. No matter how good it is, we've all been burnt to, again, this idea of being burnt. I think, again, it's a great point. We have all been burnt by certain companies that just put out tat, which is why I started this, really. It wasn't to find them and slag them off. It was just to find the good stuff and say, this is what I think is good. And I'm saying this is what I think is good. And I think that it's, for me, it's a low enough price point. And I haven't got any money at the moment. You know, I'm going to be totally honest. But if I like John's stuff, I'll go, yeah, I'll give it a go. And you know, I think people have got it, and I think some people haven't, and it's really, it's both. The lovely thing about this stuff is John's been really honest up front, and that's what I like about it. He hasn't gone, this is the best thing you're ever going to buy. I'm not telling you what it is, but it's the best story. He's just gone, some of you are going to know how it's done. That's why I can't. I mean, there's total transparency here, really, in a way. Probably, even though he's not showing you how it's done, he's been more honest than most people that show you how it's done and do magic training. Do you know what I mean? He's been, I love there's a really weird kind of paradox of it's probably really more honest than most magic trailers, but you don't see what you're getting. So there's definitely no dishonesty in this. You know, I don't think he's doing that thing of, you know, I'll get the money off him, and then, you know. And I know you're not saying that. I know nobody's saying that at all. Thanks for the review. On a Quiver users group on Facebook, they mentioned this release over the weekend, suggesting the wallet could and should be used with this effect. Do you know if that's the case? Right. I'm glad you said that, Philip Hall, because I forgot to mention this in the review, and that's why I like doing these, so I forget loads of stuff. I always read my notes and go, oh, you didn't say that. Yeah, there's a routine in it, which is a really lovely thing, which is in answer to people who say, can you show me a trick in a social situation? It's not just that, you can do it as a normal magic trick as well, but it's a great way of answering that trick. And it's full of paradox, or it's full of, it's a deeper thing than it seems. It's a very clever thing. In that routine, I'm sure we could do it without, but in that routine, John has a routine with Quiver. Now, it's not the main routine, so if anybody's thinking, oh, do I have to go out and buy, I haven't got a Quiver wallet. I'd like one, if anybody wants me to review one, thanks. But I haven't got one. So, I didn't even know really what it was. I know everybody talks about them because I don't play with them and because I'm learning quite a lot of stuff all the time. I haven't got a chance to play, but John showed me it, and then it's on the thing, and there is one routine with it, but it's not one of the main routine. You don't need the Quiver wallet, but it's a good thing to have. Where can I download it? Yeah, I put the link on there. And always remember with these videos, always look at the links below because it's all going to be there. So that's that at the end. And Tom said vague. It is vague, I know. So that's it. I'll come to questions in a minute. There are a couple of other comments I've got about other things. This is funny. About wiki test. He says, quick question, how does it work? I'm not taking the mickey at all. It's just how does it work? I mean, how do you do with the phone? A lot of people research Wikipedia. How do you know which one is the one? So I got a lot of these. I'm getting more of these recently. These comments just saying, someone said the other day, what was it? I'll try and find it. It's good. Oh, I can't find it. It's going to really annoy me. It was basically about Voodoo Needle. Luke Palpo commented, this is all great and all, but I need the explanation, please. Yeah, all right, fair enough. I won't bother just pirating material. I'll just give you the explanations on here. I know it's a funny one, isn't it? I think there's a kind of new generation. It might not be a new generation. This is the reason magic is good for lay people. The reason they like it, and I'm not being nasty. I totally get it. But the reason people like it is because they don't know how it's done. That's why magic is good. Most people don't really want to know how it's done. I know some people search it and that, but it's hundreds of years of people keeping secrets, and I really am super, super careful of not giving too much away. And somebody did accuse me when I did Tricks with Your Phone by Mark Kirsten and said, you know, you're giving it away. And then I got in touch with him and he said, no, it's totally fine. You're not giving anything away. I'm so careful. And that's why you won't see me doing much magic. I'll only put magic on here if it's really, like, you really can't see what's going on. Not because I'm scared of looking not very good, which I am, but also because I don't really want people to see the stuff, even if there's the chance of them seeing it. And I know that I've probably been guilty a couple of times, but I think it's really important to maintain. You know, it's those marginal differences. If we all sort of give things away, little bits away, and give enough away, then in the end people will know. I am a bit safer on this channel, I think. It is very, very niche. You know, this is reviewing magic products rather than just a channel for non-magicians. So I think you can get away with a bit more, but you know, that I'm not going to be giving anything away. That, you know, especially with someone like Voodoo Needle, it's a bit like this. You're not buying a load of props and a thing that you can't get anywhere else. You're buying the idea of the routine, and it's priced in that way as well. But it's very, I'm getting a lot more of them. It's like, very good, but you're waffling on too much. Tell me how the trick's done. No. Right. I'm going to wind down soon, so if you've got any questions, do let me know before I do the draw. How'd you get into it? Yeah, sorry, Jade. We'll be doing another giveaway soon. Seventh Self, hi from Ireland. Hey, mate, how are you doing? How do you feel about destroying a trick based on your opinion? What, do you mean giving it a negative response? So there's only a couple of things I've given negative reviews to, and that's because, for a number of reasons. They were because people, they were expensive than they shouldn't have been. So people was parting with a lot of money expecting they were getting something, and they weren't going to be getting that. And I knew that there wasn't many people in the world that would have not been a little bit disappointed with it. So I needed to pull that up. There was a couple of tricks that I got sent that I'd said I'd review and whatever, and a couple of them I didn't like, so I did it that way. But I was hopefully respectful. And also, I don't really get anything that's really bad. I'm not getting sent a lot at the moment, really. Vanishing Ink send me a lot, and that's why my reviews are a little bit Vanishing Ink heavy at the moment, because they've always been really, really supportive. Murphy's was sending me stuff. I haven't had anything in quite a while, so I'm not getting a big variety of stuff. Usually people send me stuff because they're really, really proud of it, and I can see that they're proud of it. So if it's got challenges, I always give the pros and cons. I always say if it's not for everybody. There's always stuff about any trick that is imperfect, isn't very good, but I wouldn't sit here and destroy a trick. And someone commented on the Magicians Forum today, and I haven't replied yet, which is a really nice comment, and it's a really lovely bit of feedback for the reviews of the Oracle system, saying that they didn't like it when people slated things and said things that they wouldn't say if the person was in the room or something like that. And that's a really good point. I don't like that. This is a very safe space. I can say whatever I want. I'm very safe sitting here in front of my computer, but I don't want to see people and slate people's stuff that they've come up with. Again, if it's insulting and they're asking for money for nothing, and it feels like a bit of a con, then that's a different thing. And I know some people say, well, that's your job as a reviewer, and it's just not what I do. I find the good stuff and then recommend it, or I find stuff that is okay and to tell you that it's okay so you can make your own minds and try and be as objective as possible. So it's like this, it isn't going to work for those people, and if you feel you're one of those people, it's going to be great. So yeah, so I wouldn't feel right doing that. It's not really my thing. But if it's a shocker, then I get it, then I'll do it. But I won't destroy it. Got this because of Stephen, it's a great concept. Great, I'm glad you like it. You see the Prop Dog Summit video? No, I think I am getting that. I think they're going to send it to me. Prop Dog Exposed, the other brothers for blatantly lying in their ad copy. Oh, right, yeah, and that's another thing. I have done that before. I've said, I've had a couple of things from Sans Minds that weren't actually bad tricks at all, but there were a couple of things in the trailer that were cut and were deceptive, and I will pull people up on that as well. Quiver is amazing. Get it. I haven't got any money left, Manny. In the description, this is Vanna 2. In description, it's given that all or nothing is based on 50-50 routine, but takes it further if you like this sort of thing. Yeah, absolutely. It is my motto. The best part of any trick is not knowing how it's done. Absolutely, Gary. I just love it. And I am like a layperson. You know, I get fooled a lot. It's the same with a movie. If I see a movie, I don't even like it if a review says there's a twist at the end, because then you're looking for it. But even if I know that there is a twist at the end of a movie, I will purposely not look for it. I'm not there going, I wonder what it is. I wonder if that. I don't want to. I want it just to wash over me, and I get fooled a lot, you know. And I still love that feeling. Hey John, thanks for replying for my comment. Cool. Rob Jacks, I meant exposing deceitful ad copy. Yeah, no, if it's deceitful, I'll definitely yeah, without a doubt, yeah. I recorded a couple of reviews at the beginning of lockdown that were both negative reviews from people that I quite like, and I didn't put them out because I just knew what hard time people were having, and they weren't over expensive things, they weren't anything that people, and they weren't deceptive, they just weren't very good, and I just thought, you know, it's not the time now. I don't want to sort of you know, we're all down a bit, we're all struggling. I don't want to add to the struggle, and that's an important thing at the moment. I have a philosophy that people genuinely are doing their best, you know, in everybody, you know, even if it looks like they're being, you know, people are doing their best, and there are not many people out there that I see that aren't. And it's very easy to judge them on assumptions and look at people and go, well, they must be doing this because of this, but you don't know that, and we don't know that, and they might have a load of belief about their product. But when it's blatant and it's, no, you're lying, you're just telling a lie, that's a very different thing. And I will expose that, not to be kind of, it's a big, I'm going to expose stuff, it just needs to be done. And even if something's exposed, like I said with the Sans Minds thing, it doesn't mean that it's a bad, it might actually be quite a good trick. It might have been their insecurity that's caused them to cut a bit out of the ad and stuff like that. So yeah, no, you're spending money on it. You need to know, either you need to know nothing and know that you're taking a punt, or you need to know what it is. Yeah, the in-between bit's the dodgy bit, isn't it? So, yeah, Van 2, sorry, I just realised that's you, John, because I've just seen you. Yeah, sorry about that. And good one for coming on, John. Glad I'm not slating it. That'd be bad, wouldn't it? Awkward. There's a lot of magic book tricks, videos, etc. How do you choose what you want to try and work on and use? So this is a big problem at the moment, because I'm still buying magic for myself, and you know, books especially. So to work on what I'm doing at the moment, I'm not necessarily buying things to work on and use in shows anymore. I'm seeing myself as a hobbyist, so I just read it. The good stuff sticks. There's a saying that isn't so family friendly as that. And I tend to, again, when I was learning card magic at the beginning, I didn't go, right, well, and that to do that, that to do that. I just read and learned, and I learned loads that way, and that's what I'm trying to get back to. It's like just whatever I get, pick up books, read a bit of a book. I started reading a book that I'm reviewing soon the other day, which is great, so I'm enjoying reading that. But it's the same with non-magic books as well, with personal development books that I'm really into. Sometimes if I overthink it, I just pick one up and start reading and see where that takes me. And sometimes that will take me down a route of kind of like, oh, I need to look at that. And it's that's what I really like. That's that flow experience for me. Hey, Spencer, how you doing? Yeah, deceitful ad copy is a bit insulting, really. So is it me, or is Wikitest just a better magic trick than most things on the market? It is. Wikitest is brilliant, but it's not flawless. You know, it's amazing, and it's a shame is I'm getting sent a few apps at the moment that I'm reviewing soon, and I keep comparing them to that, and you can't because it's a specific thing. You know, it's a purely mentalism thing. It's not, some tricks are more magic, can feel more magic. You know, you can't really compare someone like Wikitest to the Stranger. They're totally different things. So I think that it is brilliant, but it is. There are things that I do in my show that get just as good reactions, even though you wouldn't think the Magician is so strong. But there's, you know, it is brilliant. I mean, it is, isn't it? But you know, there's loads of good stuff at the moment. Loads of really good apps. I'm really enjoying Toxic Plus at the moment with iThump. You get that with iThump. It's just stunning. I do that in my show, and it's so good. So yeah, so that's really good as well. Cake Shake John Zayron is the worst ever. Only teasing, it's fantastic. Good. My nan used to say, if you have nothing to say, say nothing. Yeah, I think so. Nothing good to say. Yeah. Nothing nice to say nothing. Yeah, I think so as well. I think, you know, we've got enough challenges at the moment, haven't we? And one of them is not wasting our money, so I'll help you with that one. I really like your channel because you seem to be very gentle, kind, and always have positive things to say about people. Stay safe and healthy. Thanks, Rob. I try, you know, it's one of my values is compassion, and which is probably why some people want a bit more ranty stuff. I think if we all, as magicians, you know, if we really, really think about what we're saying and think about the effect of what we're saying has on people, you know, I do get on my high horse about this, so I do apologise, but no, I don't. I'm not apologising. But you know, imagine you go on the Magic Cafe sometimes in the forum and you see people shaming people. It's like you're being shamed, and shame is a very, 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 very dangerous thing to make people feel. It can mess people up for lives. It can lead to depression. It can lead to suicide. It can lead to all sorts of things. You know, shame is an awful thing, and if you make people feel shame for doing something you don't like or you don't agree with, excuse me, then the consequences of that can be so profound for that person. And for us, it might be just a little thing to say and a little to laughing at someone, but for them, it could, you know. And I've been on the, you know, I struggle with it. If people say negative comments, but if someone does try and shame me, I really, really struggle with it. And it's because I struggle with it. Why would I put that on someone else? And I'm not just saying it's something really worth thinking about. Which is, I see a lot on the Magic Cafe. Lovely people on there as well, of course, but someone comes up with a thing. Why did you say that on Facebook as well? What a ridiculous thing to say. It's like, hang on a minute. You know, you might not agree with someone, or they might be a bit naive, or they might be new to the game, but give people a chance, definitely. There endeth the sermon. Right. Let's have a look. John, I would like to add that as well as the main routine and variations, including ones using playing cards, there is a Facebook group where people are already absolutely posting their ideas. Thank you, John. Another thing I forgot to mention, I always do. The Facebook groups, even though it might be a bit, sometimes you think, oh God, there's a Facebook group for everything, that is where you get even more ideas, and it is brilliant. I've got so much help from Facebook groups, from apps especially, because you know the apps come out and then there's just so much you can do with them. And I'm not a great creative thinker in magic. I can come up with a few ideas, but people are, and you get these people that go off with an idea, really tinker with it and go, look, I've got this, and what a lovely, generous thing to do that is. You know, really, really lovely. So that's what the power of the Facebook groups. I've also added to them, including a routine for kids' parties. Brilliant. It's not just a trick you're buying, but something that can be applied to many different routines, even ones you already do. Yeah, it absolutely is. And there's this thing where it sort of goes down different levels as well. So you do the trick and then in another version, and then you go down this sort of rabbit hole, which I think is really, really strong on it. I know it's not going to mean much to you that haven't got it, but... hi, mate. This is from M. Hi, mate. How are you? Are you performing paid Zoom shows? Yes, I am. If so, how are you doing them? So they're done just like this. So this is the setup for my Zoom show. I have this camera here for my top-down camera, which is usually on a black for BM stuff. And I don't think this is working. No, that's not working. There's a wide shot as well for when I do the cups and balls and stuff. So I'm mixing it with traditional magic, you know, doing coin vanishes. There's no coin there, but doing coin vanishes. There's some lovely stuff you can do close up, and I'm really enjoying them actually. It's a weird thing. I get super nervous about them still. There is a video back on routines that I found that work well for families. I did Venom Cube for the first time this week on Zoom. It was great. And I'm just really enjoying the kind of coins across works, you know, on a kind of the wide angle that you can't see at the moment. But yeah, so I'm finding them good. And there's someone on the forum the other day said they were almost insulted at the idea of doing them. And it's like, work with what you got. Be a stoic. You know, this is where we are at the moment. This is what we've got. This is what we've got to work with. And you are still connecting with people. I feel like I'm connecting with you now, and I'm only seeing comments come up. You know, we are in a world now of no connection. Or not no connection, but this is our connection, and this is what we've got, you know, and work with it. You know, it does work. You feel connected to people, you see their responses. They're different responses. They're quieter responses usually, but they're lovely responses. The comments and the feedback is amazing. People experience something brilliant. They experience something truly unique, and what an honour really to be able to do that. And I always finish each show by getting quite gushing, going, you know, that was just thanks so much for kind of letting me perform again. It's just great. So, you know, I was very reluctant to do Zoom shows, and it's, you know, people have been watching magic on telly for ages, and it's even when you're doing all this interactive stuff. I did Bubble Thought. I reviewed that the other day without having actually done it on a paid Zoom show, but I've done it twice now. And if you've done a Bubble Thought, Vanishing Ink release, and it utterly kills, as does any of those card things. Those cards where the Danny Daughter's connected stuff, people just love it because they've got the cards in their hand. It's a really weird, unique thing that they've created a piece of magic, and they've got involved. And Bubble Thought, the first time I did it, it was shocking. I got halfway through and just got completely lost. And I was like, I was literally, I mean, they could kind of see me. They could hear the mechanics of my brain going, well, I'll have a look at that. And they still got a really good reaction. So, yeah. So I'm really enjoying that kind of experimentation. The fear. Oh, God, the fear. Especially when you do like Bubble Thought, at the end you go, right. And if you're doing Wikitest or something. And I did Wikitest 3 times before Christmas. And I nosed it up each time. And it was totally my fault. It wasn't yet. I completely got it wrong because I was a bit nervous. So, but still got out of it. Yeah, that's a lovely thing about the apps, because the apps now are great, aren't they? Because now they're not using... Now, when apps first came out, it was like, I'm going to get my phone out and do a thing. And look, and the card rises up, which is great. But now it's like, I love the stuff the phone's not even involved. It's great. Or involved in a way that you wouldn't imagine. Let's have a look. Reaction is commonly just shell shock. Yeah, reactions, that's a... interesting one, isn't it? The first time I did a one-man show, I don't know if I've told this story, I was really nervous. 2 things happened in my first one-man show, and it was part of the comedy festival here in Sheffield in the North UK. And first thing that happened is I walked out with a coin palmed in my hand. I don't think I'm giving anything away. I think if there's any non-magician still watching this, I mean, we're 33 minutes in, a coin palmed, and dropped it as I walked on stage, and it completely flustered me. And I said to the people I was with that were watching the show, I said, oh, God, that was awful. And they went, what was awful? I said, when I dropped the coin. They went, I wasn't that part of it. I was like, all right, okay. Because I was going to produce it, I ended up just vanishing it. The other thing that happened is I did 4th Dimensional Telepathy by Bob Cassidy. And I did it as like a 10-minute bit, the second before my finale, the penultimate trick. When I'm 10 minutes, 3 people on stage, mind reading routine, but hardly any reaction. And I was like, oh, it died on its ass. And then I said, I did a little survey of a few people that were there, a bit of feedback. It was people's favourite bit. And because the reactions weren't like, yay, that's not a magic reaction. If people are going, yay, they're not that blown away. And that's why in my street show, I used to do the Bill and Kiwi at the end, and I stopped doing it because I wanted people paying at the end of the show, not going, how the hell? So that reaction of silence is weird, but it's quite good sometimes. Can you start from the top again? Fiddling Johnny. Hello, fellow reviewer. I saw your... if you check out Fiddling Johnny, his page, it's great. And also Magic Orthodoxy and all the others. I don't get a chance to watch a lot of them, but... obviously, David's great, and Fiddling Johnny watched yours the other day. I'm going to make an effort to try and watch more stuff. The cafe can get really toxic. Coin Magic is the most nerve-wracking Magic live. Yeah, totally. Magic cafes, either keyboard jockeys or those that have or had performed in the real world, and it's truly easy to tell who is who. Yeah, I think so. It's usually the people that are really desperate to give the advice that haven't, and the people that know just kind of chat along. They're lovely people on there as well. I've done Zoom shows from Fiddling Johnny, and some of my takeaways are that it is important to have a good camera and microphone setup, then pick a material that really works for the medium. Yeah, I think so. I think microphone probably more important than camera. I think it's important that you're clearly seen is very important. I think you can do some stuff with quite a basic setup, which... but it's the sound, it's that sound. You know, it's really, you know, this is a really expensive rig here because I use it for the cardmagiccourse.com. And it's, you still get the noise and stuff like that. So I think that that's the big one, if it's that echoey, horrible sound. Tom, the first Big Bang, is that a question? Or is I'm not getting into that. What presentation did you use for Bubble Thought? Easy or less easy? I did less easy. Badly, so I should have done easy. I did the middle one. So if you watch it, there's the one that's super easy, which has a completely different setup, and it's the second one which I actually prefer, which is the one that you would see on the trailer. Yeah. Oh, you're welcome, Johnny. What? Good morning, Magic Corner. Good morning, mate. Wherever you are in the world. So Pete Holmes is a comedian who did an amazing bit on magicians. He talked about how magicians wished laymen had involuntary reaction to magic similar to what laughter is for comedians. Yeah, so I start my show, it's not the most original start, by saying that people don't know how to react to magic. Because I ask for an applause when I do a trick. I say, can you do this? Because it took me ages to learn. And can you clap, please? It makes me feel better about my life. And it's quite nice. And you're not priming them to clap because it's just not a natural reaction. You know, people don't know how and what to do. And you always hear that in an audience when you do your first trick. We always sort of go, you get a couple of claps and you get somebody go, ooh, and then some people go, what? And it's a strange thing. A poor microphone makes you sound like Norman Collier. Yeah, totally. If you don't know who he is, Google it. Sorry, you can hear my emails going off there. It's so easy to gauge impact as a comedian. Yeah. Yeah, we do. And we've got to trust, we've got to trust our intuition. And I think asking the audience for, if you do a show, I don't mean ask them at the show and go, what do you think? Is that all right? But I think that feedback forms and stuff like that, not in the show, but if you've got a mailing list, what was your favourite bit of the show, send little surveys. That is a valid thing to do, especially if you've got a regular show where it's a regular audience, where people will be, When I did my show, I could tell what people liked, what people didn't, by just asking a few people afterwards, and trusting people that will give you, genuine feedback. So there you go. Right, that was a long one, wasn't it? Oh, draw time. Who's won the Elite V5s? From Steve's pocket. Look, Jenny, it's so unprofessional, isn't it? I thought I had my hat. It was going to be that or a carrier bag from Co-op. So there you go. I've got one here. This is the winner of the V5s. Is Dane Smith. Dane Smith, who's also a lovely Card Magic course member, I believe. So that isn't why I've done it. I've got them all here. Look, there they are. There you go. All there. There's some more there. So Dane Smith, you are the winner of the V5s, Elite V5s. Thanks for DMC. I want to say his full name, but it's Drummer Money Counts, but I always Coots. But I always think it's going to be Desmond Money. I always want to say Desmond Money. Coots or Counts? God, Coots, isn't it? So thanks a lot. Let's just check I haven't missed anything. Hey, Dane, you are there. Cool. Nice one, Dane. Get me your address, steve@cardmagiccourse.com. And while we're on about Card Magic Course, please, after this, if you've got time, go and check out cardmagiccourse.com. I'm incredibly proud of it. And they didn't all say Dane Smith. Dane Smith picked me. And Dane, you don't live here, do you? That's going to cost me another tenner to get it to you. God blimey. This is a commitment. Glad I didn't win it, then I would have 3 of them. From the Magic Corner. Yeah, check them out as well. There you go. So thanks a lot, everyone. Like and subscribe. Share stuff. If anybody mentions this, just tell people about it. It'd be lovely. Every new subscriber is appreciated. And have a wonderful one. Thank you for your support. And thank you for being lovely. Look, how is it? There's no horrible... No, you won't pay shipping. I'm paying shipping. You know, this community is lovely. No horrible stuff there, is there? So have a good one, everyone. Take care. See you later.